Hi there, it's Pamela Bates. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you my abstract watercolor process. I'm working on paper. I'm starting with pencil, which I start with on just about every single painting, whether it's on paper, on canvas board, on wood panel. Pencil seems to really help me get that energy of creativity flowing. And as you can see, I allowed myself to move that pencil and make those marks very freely. That is one of the main tenets of my process, is to be as free as possible and to allow that expression come from deep inside my soul, and to allow the painting to direct me where it wants to go instead of me directing it. I try to take myself out of the process as much as possible. I'm listening to my gut and I'm listening to the universe at the same time. You can see some of my marks that are showing up on the paper, and I don't often notice as I am in the process of painting, but I often see my marks when I am on my walks with my dog in the woods, when I am on the beach walking, and whether it's in the bark, whether it is uh, a mark that I see in the leaves, in sticks, in the lichen on the trees, or if it is perhaps marks left on the sand from the rocks rolling back out with the tide, or water marks. All of that works itself into my process really in a very organic way. It's not forced. It's just something that I allow myself to express, and I usually really do not see this until after, and I am taking a walk and I am out. Throughout this process, you'll see sometimes I paint right over the marks that I've made with pencil. Sometimes I make marks just with the brush. Uh, I sometimes use a wash of color. I really allow myself to explore. And you'll also see that I take my pencil and I move that back through some of the paint. And I do that whether I am working in watercolor or if I am working in acrylics or mixed media. I love using pencil throughout my process, and I also, uh, you'll also see in all of my work that I use a lot of layers because I think there's something about the storytelling nature of that. You'll also see that sometimes I may have noticed that I also changed the brush that I'm using, and I do that often because different brushes make different marks. And again, I'm going to link that back to the storytelling nature of art. And life is not all one size, nothing is the same. And I think that using different size brushes, even different size pencils that make different marks, helps tell a more complete and true story. One of the things that I absolutely adore about watercolors is that it has this beautiful, magical alchemy where it kind of does what it wants, and I allow it to, and I allow that to lead my process. And you may see sometimes I may control it a little bit with the paper towel. It's really more of a taking off and laying on more layers. And notice that I use a lot of paint splatters in my work, and I think that that is really a reflection of just how messy life can be sometimes, and none of us escape that. And am working with watercolors, I am working pretty wet, whether I am laying water onto the paper and then coming in with color and allowing it to bloom on the paper, or I'm using like a really wet brush. There's something, again, I'm going to go back to that alchemy of watercolors that uh, when you're using things really wet, it really allows it to do its own thing. And I really love that about this medium. It is the first medium I started working with when I became a painter. And I go back to it again and again when I need to recenter myself, or even if I've had some type of creative block, or I need to kind of get back to my roots. I hope this gave you some more insight into my abstract watercolor process. Hit like and subscribe for more.